Hey guys, thanks for coming back this weekend. I saw Judge Dredd 3D with Karl Urban, Lena Headey, and Olivia Thirlby. This is With a K Review. I'm Victor. Let's get to it. So if you guys saw my movie review of Total Recall, you remember that I wasn't really happy with that movie because it wasn't what it was advertised as. It was advertised as one thing, and then it came out as something completely different and really dumb. And when I saw the previews for Dredd, I was like, oh great, another nuclear shot to my yarbles. Now at the beginning of the movie, everything kind of starts out like the original, but then as it goes along, things become different, and instead of them becoming ridiculous by the end, everything actually starts to make sense in this movie. Now this movie became something completely different from the original movie because this movie was actually sold as a reboot and not a remake. Now shortly after the movie starts out with like a really cool chase scene, everything really changes from the original, and it changes in a good way. Things actually make sense in this movie. Now if you saw the Stallone movie, this movie does take a few little pieces from that, especially, you know, the famous "I am the law" type of thing that Stallone did, but Karl Urban did that a little bit better, and they actually take a few of the locations from that movie. In this reboot of Dredd, we have a new drug called slow-mo, which is made by a new up-and-rising crime boss called Mama, who's played by Lena Headey. Now, most of us remember Lena Headey from the Game of Thrones series, and she played Cersei Lancaster, and she also was in Fox's Will Cancel Everything and then still bring back The Simpsons and every other cartoon, Sarah Connor Chronicles. Dredd in this movie is actually played by Karl Urban, and he plays a lot of other different characters. I remember him as playing Vaco in Chronicles of Riddick, and also the one FBI agent in Red that got completely pwned by Bruce Willis, and he also played Black Hat in the movie Priest. But most of us actually remember him as Bones from Star Trek. Now, the rookie cop in this movie is played by Olivia Thirlby. I haven't really seen her in anything, and I looked on her IMDb page, and there's a link below for that. I didn't really see any of those movies that she was in, but she does have quite an extensive list, so please click on the link below so you can actually see the list of stuff that she was in. So the story of the movie has Dredd taking out the rookie cop Anderson on a one-day pass-or-fail test, and also she happens to be psychic. Now I understand by saying all this movie may end up being like a cliched movie, and it has everything that makes it terrible, but even the slow-mo drug that's used in this movie, it's not overused. It's used at specific key points in the movie, and along with the slow-mo, the 3D, it also makes everything a lot cooler. And instead of overusing it, it's just using it at the key points. Even Anderson's psychic ability, which I thought was really going to be dumb, that is actually tied into the movie very well at the key points as well, and makes everything come together to make everything really entertaining. Even the secondary characters in this movie, they actually have personality and they have backstories. Like her computer guy, he actually played in the last two Harry Potter movies as Bill Weasley. He has a backstory, and he ties into Mama's character. And her henchman, he actually has a personality rather than just being rough and gruff. He actually has a small bit of backstory, and he has good interactions with Anderson that actually make his character come alive even more. Even Karl Urban in this movie does a really good job as Dredd, and I was really surprised about that because he hadn't really gotten a chance in a lot of other movies, but he actually gives Dredd a personality and depth. Not a lot, but he does enough to where when you watch it, you kind of feel for his character at the end, and you want to know more about it. After I saw this movie, I really wanted to find something wrong with this movie. And usually in the review, this is where I do it. This is where I tell you this was wrong, and I really couldn't. This movie got me really excited. It was just so good. It had brains. It had action. Guys, this movie got me to go over 9,000! This movie gets an over 9,000K review because it's awesome. Go see it in theaters and make sure you rent it when it comes out. This is With a K Review. I'm Victor. See you next weekend.